Revealed, the incredible night I discovered my sister's hidden plan to change my life forever. Jamie stood at the edge of the bustling festival, her heart pounding like the drums of the marching band in the distance. Laughter draped over the late summer air, yet she felt like a ghost, haunting the periphery of joy. In Maplewood, everyone knew her name, but here, amidst the hay bales and festive lights, she was just another shadow waiting for a moment that never seemed to come. As the vibrant hues of sunset painted the sky, Jamie's dreams felt as unreachable as the stars. All around her, families celebrated their victories, children ran towards the pie contest, mothers swapped secret recipes, and fathers shared stories of their own hardships. Jamie had always been the steadfast one, the pillar of strength for her aging parents after her father lost his job. Yet, despite her independence, an ache nestled in her heart. The bakery she had dreamed of opening felt like a distant fantasy. She sighed deeply, stirring the batter of her layered anxieties, uncertain if she'd ever have the courage to take that leap. "Jamie!" A voice broke through her thoughts. It was Lily, her younger sister, bubbling with excitement. "I've got something to show you." Without waiting for a reply, she grabbed Jamie's hand, pulling her away from the sidelines and into the swirling crowd of the festival. Jamie's tight chest eased slightly as she felt the warm glow of familiar faces. Amid the laughter and confetti, Lily led Jamie to a quieter corner. "I've been working on something for you." Her eyes sparkled with determination. "I've been applying for grants to help fund your bakery." The words hit Jamie like a lightning bolt. "No, you didn't." She felt the weight of Lily's offer sink in, but it felt conflicting. Needing help? That was a failure in her eyes. "Why would you do that?" "Because I believe in you." Lily's voice was steady. "I've watched you support Mom and Dad, always putting them before yourself. You deserve this chance." In that moment, something in Jamie shifted. It was warmth and tenderness wrapped in the weight of high expectations. A love that felt simultaneously uplifting and suffocating. As the festival continued, a dulcet sound of joy accompanied by the smell of popcorn and warm apple cider. She couldn't shake the storm brewing inside her. Was it a sign of weakness to accept help? Or did it mean embracing the love of her family and community? Just when the internal struggle reached a peak, the skies darkened. Heavy clouds rolled in, with winds fierce enough to whip through the festival. Tents flapped wildly, and the smell of baked goods that once filled the air turned to chaos. Jamie watched, her heart in her throat, as the townsfolk leaped into action, rescuing pies and decorations. Laughter mingled with shouts of help turned frantic. In that hurricane of community action, Jamie felt a pull, her old self roaring back to life. As she scanned the chaos, Lily was at the heart of it, frantically saving cupcakes as they threatened to topple over. A realization gripped Jamie tightly. The independence she prized so much could not compare to the powerful hands of family and the closeness of her loved ones. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the last of the festival lights flickered in the wind, Jamie found herself at a crossroads. Could she truly find solace in the love and support of those around her? Just then, a bolt of lightning lit up the sky, plunging the town square into darkness. Jamie's pulse raced, staring into the uncertainty that now surrounded her. She felt a fierce yearning within, a sliver of hope where community and kinship could unlock her dreams. What path would she choose when dawn broke? The wind howled, and Jamie felt the chill seep into her bones. The festival had exploded into a frenzy of movement, but she stood still, the chaos swirling around her as she wrestled with her thoughts. Fear clenched her heart. What if she lost everything she had built for her family? The pull of independence had always defined her, but could it be that her dreams were just as fragile as those toppled pies? "Jamie, come on. Lily's voice echoed through the unrest, her little frame darting between flapping tents. She was a beacon amid the storm, determination etched into every step. Jamie took a shaky breath. She moved toward her sister, drawn by an invisible thread of love and the realization that perhaps life was never meant to be faced alone. As she neared, she saw Lily's determined expression falter for just a heartbeat. "Are you okay?" Jamie asked, the concern lacing her voice. "I'm fine." Lily smiled brightly, though a flicker of worry danced in her eyes. "But we need to help. What do you want to do?" The storm was raging, lightning slashing the sky, illuminating the faces of neighbors she had known for years. They were all in this together, fighting through debris and laughter, the fabric of their community woven tighter by shared struggles and triumphs. "Let us save what we can." Jamie's voice rang with newfound resolve. "The cupcakes. If we can gather the bakers, we can salvage them. They matter to everyone." Lily nodded, the spark of energy uniting them both. They rushed toward the main tent, where the baking contest was being held. Parents shouted instructions to their children, who scrambled to grab boxes and cloths to protect their beloved pastries. "Look." Lily pointed toward a pile of toppled cupcakes. Jamie rushed over, her hands moving with urgency. She grasped a box and began loading it, every frosting-smeared cupcake a reminder of the love and hard work poured into each creation. With every cupcake she saved, Jamie felt a layer of her own fear peel away, replaced by a sense of purpose. As the winds began to settle and clouds parted slightly, the first glimmers of twilight broke through. Jamie spotted a few neighbors already gathering their own baked goods. Together, they formed a chain, passing boxes up and down. Slowly, the mood shifted from panic to camaraderie. Laughter began weaving its way through the tension, warmth radiating out as the community took charge. Moments later, as the last of the cupcakes was packed safely away, Jamie stood beside Lily, their hands sticky and coated in frosting. "See?" Lily beamed, her eyes wide with joy. "Together, we can handle anything." Jamie looked around, finally feeling the warmth of possibility fill her chest. The camaraderie was potent, stirring something inside her, a thrum of excitement. This experience was everything. It was proof that she had a foundation, a support system that would hold her up even in the fiercest of storms. Maybe she began, hesitating as if the weight of her next words were monumental. "Maybe I can think about the bakery again." Lily's eyes sparkled. "Really?" "Yeah, but not just me. It'll be our dream. I want us to do it together." Just then, the festival returned to life. Soft lights flickered back on as townsfolk reignited the evening celebrations. The laughter rose, buoyed by their success. But within the shadow of renewed hope, a whisper of doubt lingered in Jamie's mind. As they moved back into the festival, she couldn't shake the feeling that while the storm might have passed, there would be new challenges ahead. What would it truly take to turn her dream into a reality? And would she always feel the constant push and pull between independence and family support? As they embraced the festivities, Jamie resolved to explore this new path, but what awaited her around the corner might change everything once again. The festival's vibrant colors danced around Jamie, yet her thoughts stubbornly clung to the storm's aftermath. She watched as the community once again filled the air with laughter, their spirits soaring like the balloons that swayed gently against the night sky. But the exhilaration felt distant, tangled in the questions echoing in her mind. "Come on, Jamie. Let us go be part of the fun." Lily tugged at her sleeve like a little whirlwind, her excitement chomping at the bit. At first, Jamie hesitated, wanting one more moment to soak in the reality that they had triumphed over chaos. Okay. Just a minute," she said, raising a hand. The corners of her mouth lifted reluctantly, but the weight inside her chest remained. The two sisters finally joined the party, the warm glow of lights illuminating the community that felt like family. Everywhere she looked, neighbors were sharing stories, their laughter bubbling up like soda pop. Yet, Jamie caught snippets of conversations that marked the air with concerned whispers about lost pies and badly damaged stalls. "Did you see Mrs. Fletcher? She was about to cry when her pie fell," Lily exclaimed. I think we should help her out. Jamie's heart warmed at her sister's empathy. You're right. Let's find her. The sad thought of losing their dreams collided with the reality of others' struggles. Amid the joy, she knew that heartache lay beneath. As they approached Mrs. Fletcher, Jamie noticed something strange. Her eyes were downcast, not just from the loss of her pie, but from something deeper. In a quiet corner, while the festival continued to thrum like a heartbeat, Jamie knelt next to Mrs. Fletcher and gently asked, "Are you okay?" "We can help you clean up, thank you, dear. I thought this year would be different, you know? The pie was, well, it was something my mother taught me how to make. It meant so much." Her voice quivered, breaking the silence. At that moment, Jamie felt a spark within her. "Everyone can make a comeback," she assured Mrs. Fletcher. "Every pie tells a story. Let us make it together next time, shall we?" Mrs. Fletcher looked up, surprise morphing into a genuine smile. "You, my dear, have no idea how much I needed to hear that." Suddenly, Jamie's phone buzzed in her pocket. She fished it out to find a message from an unknown number. "I need to talk. We have to discuss the bakery plans. Tonight. It's important." Her heart sank. Who would dare interfere now when everything felt so fragile? Just as she started to respond, Lily tugged on her arm again, pulling her back into the moment. "Look. Fireworks." Lily cheered, her eyes sparkling with delight. The sky erupted in colors, vibrantly illuminating the path ahead. Caught between the soft glow of sisterly love and the dark message hovering over her, Jamie wrestled with her choices. Should she dive headfirst into the excitement or step aside for the looming question a stranger had just dropped in her lap? "Jamie?" Lily's voice broke through. "Are you coming? We're missing it." With a half-hearted smile, Jamie turned toward the fireworks, but her mind was already racing toward the looming decision she had to make about the bakery and that mysterious text message. What would she decide when the spark of her dreams flashed before her? And who would want to discuss their future on a night like this? As the last firework burst in the sky, Jamie felt a wave of uncertainty crash over her. Maybe this night would reveal more than just the beauty above. It might unveil plans that could alter everything. The cheers erupted around Jamie, fireworks exploding overhead like bursts of uncontained joy. Lily's laughter wrapped around her, filling the air with a warmth that finally nudged Jamie out of her thoughts. It was so easy to get lost in the worries when her sister was so unburdened, so free. "Come on, let us get closer," Lily urged, tugging at her sleeve again. Jamie allowed herself to be pulled, letting out a small laugh as they darted through the crowd like they used to when they were kids, reveling in the small things, the candy, the games, and the music. As they found a spot where they could see the fireworks reflected in the eyes of festival-goers, Jamie felt a flicker of excitement. But as the colorful lights danced in the sky, her phone buzzed again, grounding her back to reality. She quickly glanced down. "Another message, please. It's about your future." Torn, she turned to Lily, who was enraptured by the kaleidoscope above. "Lily," she started hesitantly, "do you think I might need to talk to someone tonight? It seems important." "Talk to who?" "It's festival night." Lily beamed, eyes still wide with wonder. "You can talk tomorrow. Right now, we need to watch this." Jamie nodded, forcing herself to stay present. In the bright light of bursting colors, she let herself indulge in the joy around her. But the knot in her stomach wouldn't dissolve. What could the message mean? Had someone found out about her dreams for the bakery? With every explosion, Jamie's internal chaos sparked, intertwining with the visuals around her. Just the thought of a future, would it be the bakery she envisioned, or something else entirely? All these questions loomed larger with every firework. As the finale illuminated the sky, a stunning cascade of colors bombarded her senses. The crowd roared, people dancing with happiness and clapping their hands. Yet, Jamie's joy was dimmed. She turned her eyes away from the sky and toward the crowd. Maybe someone could help her make sense of it all. "Hey, let us go talk to Mrs. Fletcher again," she suggested, needing the comfort of the older woman's wisdom. "Now? But the show is almost at its best." Lily whined, her face scrunched in disappointment. "I need to, Lily. Please." "Just trust me," Jamie insisted, the urgency of her heart spilling over into her voice. So they started pushing through the bystanders, weaving their way back to where they had last seen the troubled baker. As they reached her table, Jamie took a deep breath. Mrs. Fletcher was busy packing away dishes, her shoulders hunched. "Mrs. Fletcher," Jamie called, her voice softer now. The older woman looked up, surprise flickering in her eyes. "Are you okay?" "I'm just trying to put everything away," she replied, forcing a smile. "But thank you for asking." There was a heaviness in the air. "You know, we were thinking about helping you bake next time. I mean, if you want." Jamie's voice trailed off slightly, uncertain of Mrs. Fletcher's state of mind. Suddenly, Mrs. Fletcher's expression shifted. "Actually, Jamie," she began, her voice earnest. "I was going to ask if you wanted to take part in a new bakery plan of mine. It's very different, better. I think you'd love it." Jamie's heart skipped a beat. The urgency swelled again as thoughts raced back to that text she received. "A new plan?" she echoed, trying to process it all. "Yes. Let us talk about it over coffee." As she looked back at Lily, Jamie saw the childlike wonder replaced by worry. This was more than just a casual conversation, it felt like fate knocking at her door. But before she could even consider the reality, her phone buzzed once more. "I'm here. Let us meet. You can't ignore this." A new wave of anxiety washed over her. How could she choose between the past and the future when both felt equally important? As the excitement of the festival dimmed behind her, Jamie wondered what this night truly held for her. After all, choices were never as simple as they seemed. Would she be strong enough to face what lay ahead? Jamie stood frozen for a moment, the buzz of the festival fading into the background. The weight of that last message clutched at her heart. "I'm here. Let us meet. You can't ignore this." Her mind raced. Who could this message be from? And why did it feel so urgent? A cold sweat crept in as she glanced at Lily, her sister's face lit by the afterglow of the fireworks. Would Lily understand? "Mrs. Fletcher," Jamie said, her voice steadying. "I think I need to take this call." "Of course, dear," Mrs. Fletcher responded, her eyes searching Jamie's face. "But don't forget what we just talked about. This is a chance for you." Jamie nodded absently, her gaze still on her phone. She stepped back, away from the cacophony of the festival, her heart thudding. Could she really walk away from this moment with Mrs. Fletcher? What if this message was something she couldn't afford to ignore? With shaky fingers, she pressed to answer. "Hello? Jamie." A voice boomed, familiar yet demanding. "We need to talk. Now." "Ben?" she stammered, confusion bubbling up. Her old high school friend was not someone she expected to hear from. "What is going on?" "There's no time to explain everything. Just meet me at the old diner." "I promise it's important. Your future depends on it." Her heart raced. Why was everything about her future tonight? There was a storm of choices swirling around her. Was it the bakery dream, or was there something bigger brewing that she wasn't even aware of? As she tried to swallow back the questions, Lily's laughter suddenly rang behind her, pulling her back into the reality of the festival, the colorful lights glimmering. "Please, Jamie. Just for a little longer," Lily called, eyes sparkling. She had no clue about the weight of Jamie's dilemma. "Okay." Jamie let out a breath, threading uncertainty with determination. "Wait here for me, I'll be right back." Before Lily could protest, Jamie turned, breaking into a jog towards the parking lot. The air turned cool as she darted away from the jubilant warmth of the gathering, the din of laughter becoming a distant memory. Her mind flipped through memories with Ben like that last summer when dreams seemed effortless and the future was just an afterthought. What could he possibly want now? A few blocks away, the old diner loomed. The neon lights buzzed softly, flickering like her racing thoughts. Opening the door, she was immediately hit by the smell of coffee and greasy fries. The sounds of clinking utensils and muffled conversations surrounded her. Ben sat at a booth in the far corner, his brow furrowed as he looked up. There was urgency in his eyes that filled Jamie with dread. She slid in opposite him, the plastic seat sticking slightly. "Hey, thanks for coming," he said, almost breathlessly. "What is going on?" she asked, folding her arms across her chest. You sounded serious. Jamie, he leaned in, voice low, I've been working on something that involves you, and I didn't want to say anything until I was sure. Her heart sank as she sat back, the weight of his words sinking in. Was she ready to hear whatever he had to say? How could her life twist in yet another unexpected direction? I know about your baking dreams, Ben continued. And the opportunity you're considering with Mrs. Fletcher there's more. Something big that could change everything. Confusion and anticipation swirled within her. What could be so significant? Just when she thought her future was beginning to solidify, another path emerged, and it was luring her in. What do you mean? She pressed, her voice barely above a whisper, his gaze, earnest and intent, locked onto hers. Trust me. Just listen. There are things in motion that could lead to your dream coming true, but you need to be ready to seize it. What did he know? Jamie's heart drummed faster. Could she handle more change? Would it lead her to everything she ever wanted? Suddenly, everything felt precarious, balancing on the edge of an unknown. She needed to know. As fear gripped her, she wondered what lay ahead if she decided to open that new door. Ben looked around, his expression tense. You remember the scholarship competition we talked about, right? The one I said was only for culinary students. Jamie nodded, her pulse quickening. Yeah, but I'm not sure I'm ready. I don't have the experience to compete against those who are trained. That's the thing, Ben replied, urgency creeping into his voice. You already have the potential. Mrs. Fletcher sees it. But there's more. I might have a connection that could give you an edge, a mentor who can guide you. But it's only possible if you dive in completely. Her heart raced. A mentor? This could be the key to everything she dreamed of, but who would it be? She felt exposed, tangled in uncertainty. Why are you telling me this now? Ben leaned forward, his eyes locked on hers. Because I want to help you. I've seen you doubt yourself, and it's sad watching your talent waste away. Your sister believes in you too. You can't keep saying you're not ready. You are. You have to trust that. Jamie swallowed. The weight of her ambition loomed over her like a cloud, the question of what if echoing in her head. What if I fail? What if I ruin everything? Ben reached across the table, his hand hovering just above hers. What if you soar? Picture yourself doing what you love, waking up every day excited for the journey. Failure is just a step towards success, remember? You have to try. She stared into his eyes, searching for assurance. They sparkled with an intensity that made her believe for a brief moment that maybe, just maybe, she could be brave. But doubts still tangled in her mind. And what about you? She asked, pulling back slightly. What is your stake in this? Why do you care? He hesitated for a beat, then sighed. Because I care about you, Jamie. You deserve this. You've always been capable of more than you let yourself believe. This is about taking a chance, not only for your dream, but for you. For us. With that last word, us, Jamie felt something shift. The air buzzed around her, igniting an unspoken connection. She had thought of Ben as just a friend from the past. But now he seemed like something more, a lifeline amid her chaotic thoughts. The door swung open, and she flinched as a rush of festival-goers spilled inside, their laughter echoing around the diner. It felt invasive, like the world was intruding on this fragile moment. I'm just scared, she finally admitted, her voice small. What if I mess this up? Ben leaned back, his expression softening. You can't let fear hold you back. This could be an incredible opportunity. Are you ready to go for it? The tremor in her chest echoed her doubts, but an ember of resolve flickered to life. I need to think it over, but I guess we're not done talking about this. Ben nodded, a smile breaking through his earlier tension. Just promise me one thing. Take your time, but don't take too long. Opportunities like this, they don't wait around. Jamie was about to respond when her phone buzzed again in her pocket. It startled her, pulling her back to the pressing reality. She glanced at the screen, her heart dropping as she read the sender. It was a text from Lily. Where are you? I'm getting worried. In that instant, the rift between her old life and the path ahead felt impossibly wide. She felt torn. Should she return to the festival? What if this conversation was the turning point she needed but didn't know yet? She took a deep breath, feeling both the thrill and terror of the moment. I need to go. But I'll think about what you said. Ben reached for her hand, his grip warm and reassuring. Just remember, Jamie, fear is a choice. So is courage. As she stepped back into the night, the sounds of the festival washed over her again, but this time they felt different. A sense of possibility coiled in her stomach. The air vibrated with energy as she glanced back at the diner and then toward the festival. Would she choose to dive into the unknown, embracing everything Ben had hinted at? And what would this mean for her sister, for her future? The dilemma loomed larger than life. Suddenly, she felt the choices pressing in on her once again. A choice could reshape everything. As she threaded her way through the crowd, she couldn't shake the thought, what if she was standing on the cusp of something extraordinary? Yet now was the time to act. What awaited her on this journey ahead? The music from the festival pulsed in the air around her, each beat a reminder of the joy and spontaneity of the evening. Jamie found herself hesitating on the edge of the crowd, feeling the excitement swirling around her like confetti. But there was a deeper turmoil beneath the surface, the kind that had her heart racing for all the wrong reasons. As she navigated through the throngs of festival-goers, her thoughts drifted back to Lily. Her sister's face flashed in her mind, an image filled with warmth and familiarity. So often, they had shared dreams together now. Jamie wondered if Lily was at the festival somewhere, immersed in her own joyful moment. Unaware of the storm brewing inside her, Jamie's phone buzzed again, snapping her from her reverie. It was another text from Lily. "Please answer. I'm worried sick." Freaked out, Jamie dialed her sister's number, holding her breath as the phone rang. She could almost hear the noise of the carnival blending with the anticipation in her chest. "Hey, Jamie. Where are you?" Lily's voice was a mix of relief and concern. "I'm right outside the diner," Jamie replied, trying to sound casual. "Just got caught up in a conversation. I'm on my way." "Okay, hurry. I have something important to tell you." The urgency in her sister's voice startled her. What could be so important that it couldn't wait? Jamie quickened her pace. Her mind raced with possibilities. What if it was about the scholarship? What if Lily had a lead on a mentor, too? But the nagging doubts still loomed. Did she want to immerse herself in all that? Did she even know who or what she wanted to become? As she reached the vibrant festival grounds, the lights sparkled like stars overhead, casting a glow that felt both inviting and daunting. The laughter of children echoed, mingling with the sound of sizzling food and the sweet scent of cotton candy. But to Jamie, it felt like a veil obscured the reality she needed to confront. "Jamie," Lily called out, waving from the base of the Ferris wheel. Relief washed over Jamie as she spotted her sister, her blonde hair glowing in the festive lights. When they embraced, Jamie felt the familiar warmth seep into her. "Hey, sorry for worrying you," she said, pulling back to see Lily's expression. "Everything okay?" Lily asked, concern etched in her features. "You looked kind of distant." Jamie hesitated, the weight of everything she had just discussed with Ben hanging in the air. "I've been thinking about the scholarship and what Ben suggested." Lily's eyes lit up. "You're considering it?" "I am, but I'm scared," Jamie admitted, her voice trembling slightly. "I don't want to fail. What if I'm not good enough?" "Listen," Lily said, taking Jamie's hands. "You're more than good enough. I just found out something incredible about you. Something that could change everything." "What do you mean?" Jamie's heart raced again, but this time it was excitement mingled with fear. Before Lily could answer, a small crowd gathered, laughter erupting from the carnival games nearby. Jamie's thoughts became a mesh of sounds, feelings, and questions as her sister's grip tightened. "It's about a connection I made," Lily began again, lowering her voice. "A culinary competition in the city, and it's not just any competition, Jamie. It's a launchpad." "What do you mean?" Jamie's heart quickened. Lily took a breath, glancing at the crowd before settling her gaze back onto Jamie. "They're looking for someone like you, someone with passion. And they need someone from our town." Time seemed to freeze. The words hung in the air, sparking something deep within Jamie. A chance to go further than she ever dared to dream. "But how do I get in?" she asked, her pulse racing. "Trust me. The details are coming, but you need to be ready," Lily said earnestly. "This is your moment." Doubt and hope battled within Jamie, her mind swirling with the weight of decision. What if this was the step she had been waiting for? But what if it was another disappointment waiting to happen? In the midst of the festival's chaos, she realized this was not merely a conversation about a competition, but a revelation of who she truly wanted to be. But that wasn't all. Her sister's eyes glinted with something else, something Jamie couldn't quite grasp yet. "What are you not telling me, Lily?" she asked, needing that answer to truly understand. Lily hesitated, her gaze shifting. And just like that, the world around them faded, leaving only the uncharted territory ahead. As the stars twinkled overhead, Jamie felt the weight of ambition stir within her once again. What else lay waiting to be discovered? What decisions would shape the life ahead of her? The night held secrets, and she was only beginning to unearth them. Lily hesitated, her eyes darting around as if searching for the right words. Jamie sensed the gravity of the moment, tension thick between them. "Okay, you need to promise me you won't freak out," Lily said, biting her lip. "Lily, just tell me," Jamie urged, heart racing. "I've been in touch with a chef from the competition. He's impressed with your work, Jamie. He wants to meet you." The world around Jamie blurred. "Wait, what? A chef? Why?" "Because he's looking for new talent, and your name came up." I didn't want to say anything until I knew for sure, but it's real. Lily's eyes sparkled with pride and excitement. Jamie felt her stomach twist. "But I haven't done anything. Just that small cafe gig. I'm not ready for that." "You are," Lily insisted, squeezing Jamie's hands tightly. "You're passionate and creative. That's exactly what they're looking for. You always talk about wanting to be a chef. This could be your chance." "What if I mess up? What if he regrets even wanting to meet me?" "Trust me, he wouldn't have reached out if he didn't believe in you. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You've got to go for it." In the distance, the Ferris wheel glowed, the laughter and music echoing all around them. It felt so surreal, yet here was Lily, full of determination, urging her to take this leap. "Okay," Jamie whispered, her heart pounding. "When do I meet him?" "Tomorrow morning. We've got an early meeting set up at the cafe where you work. You just need to be yourself." "What? Tomorrow?" Jamie's heart fell, the weight of urgency settling heavily. "Yes. I know it's last minute. I didn't want to push you if you weren't ready," Lily replied softly. "But what if I freeze up? What if he asks me something that I can't answer?" Panic seized Jamie, her mind racing with all the what-ifs that spun like lightning in her thoughts. Then you take a deep breath and remember why you love cooking in the first place. Just think about those moments in the kitchen when you felt at home. This is your moment. You have to meet him. He's one of the judges. Jamie's pulse quickened at the thought. A judge? But I still can't shake the uncertainty. What if I fail? "Failure is part of the journey," Lily replied, her grip on Jamie firm. "What's important is that you try. You'll always look back wondering if you had given it a shot." A wave of emotion crashed over Jamie. She thought of all those nights spent cooking for family dinners, of the laughter, the chaos, the warmth. "You really believe in me," Jamie finally said, her voice thick. "I always have." Lily smiled, her face radiant against the shimmering lights of the festival. "And I'm not the only one. You have a whole community that believes in you." Suddenly, Jamie felt a flicker of fire inside her. Could this be more than just another fleeting moment of doubt? Could it really be the beginning of something big? "Okay, I'll do it," she stated, determination flooding her voice. "I'll meet the chef." But still, waves of doubt washed over her. Jamie thought of all the possible pitfalls that could await her. "Wait, what do I wear?" "You'll figure it out. It's just a cafe. You just have to be yourself." Laughter from a nearby group echoed as Jamie felt her nerves pick up a new rhythm. This was the push she needed, yet it felt dizzying. "Tomorrow, I can't believe this is happening," she said softly, her throat tightened with uncertainty. But just as hope fluttered in her chest, Lily leaned in close, lowering her voice. "Jamie, there's one more thing. He isn't just looking for talent. He's got connections. If you impress him, you could land an apprenticeship at his restaurant." Jamie's breath caught. "An apprenticeship?" "Yes, but you need to be ready. He's tough, and you have to impress him within minutes." As the words sank in, Jamie felt the weight of potential crashing down on her. Her heart thudded like a drum in her ears. What kind of pressure was this? The night was alive with color and laughter, yet within her a storm brewed. And in the glow of the festival, she stood on the precipice of everything she ever dreamed of. What if this was the moment that changed everything? But what if it all came crashing down? Lily, I let us celebrate tonight. Lily cut in cheerfully. There's so much ahead. For now, let us just enjoy the festival, okay? We can plan tomorrow in the morning. Yeah, okay. Jamie agreed, though a flutter of anxiety twisted in her stomach. As they began to walk towards the lively games and the sweet abundance of treats, Jamie felt a complexity of emotions churn inside her. Could she really do this? And what awaited her when the sun rose? But she also couldn't shake the feeling that the real challenge was just beginning, one that would test both her heart and her courage. Tonight's just the start, Jamie, she whispered to herself. What awaited her in the dawn? The next morning arrived with the sun rising like a golden promise over the horizon. Jamie lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The weight of the day ahead settled heavily on her chest. The warmth of the sun seeped into her room, but all she felt was a chill of anxiety creeping under her skin. She glanced at the clock, and the numbers seemed to mock her, ticking away moments that felt like both an eternity and a blink. What should I do? She muttered to herself, running a hand through her disheveled hair. The taste of fear bubbled in her throat. What if she wasn't good enough? She swung her legs over the side of the bed and sat for a moment, letting the thoughts swirl around her like leaves in a storm. Lily's voice echoed in her mind. Just be yourself. But who is that really? The girl who burned toast and laughed it off? Or the one who meticulously plated dishes at the cafe? Jamie sighed. She wanted so much to embrace the second version of herself, the dreamer with culinary ambitions. But uncertainty wrapped around her like an unwelcome blanket. Once she finally pulled herself together, Jamie wandered to the mirror and assessed her reflection. After a few tense moments, she slipped on a simple but elegant blouse paired with dark jeans. She applied a touch of makeup, enough to feel put together but not overdone. It was a quiet statement of confidence to hide the growing nerves underneath. Okay, let us do this, she whispered, nudging herself forward. At the cafe, the familiar aroma of fresh coffee and baked bread greeted her like an old friend. She set about preparing for the day, her hands moving instinctively, grounding her amid the chaos of emotions. The bell above the door jangled, announcing the early morning customers, and Jamie lost herself briefly in the rhythm of the bustling cafe. With time ticking away, she fought to shake off thoughts of the chef's impending visit. Instead, she focused on the sounds of laughter and chatter, the clinking of dishes, and the sizzling of food on the griddle. This was her sanctuary, a place filled with memories of creating flavors and sharing meals. Just as the clock neared the set meeting time, Jamie's heart raced. The moment she had both anticipated and dreaded was nearly here. She wiped her sweaty palms on her apron, breathed deeply, and focused on the details in front of her. Each ingredient in the cafe that morning felt like a symbol of her hard work and dedication. Then, the door swung open, and in walked a figure clad in a crisp chef's jacket, a blend of authority and warmth radiating off him. Jamie's heart slammed in her chest. This was the chef. Everything she had dreamt of was encapsulated in this moment. Yet doubt clawed at her, threatening to pull her under. Jamie? His voice was deep and resonated with an undeniable presence. I'm Jason. I'm here to see if the buzz is true about you. She swallowed hard, forcing a smile as she stepped forward to greet him. Yes, that's me. It's a pleasure to meet you. The exchange felt surreal, her excitement battling fiercely with her nerves. The slightest tremor in her hands didn't go unnoticed, yet she clung to the routine as if it were a lifeline. Let us take a look at what you can do, Jason said, his eyes glinting with curiosity. Jamie turned to the kitchen, feeling the momentum shift back to her. She rushed to gather her apron, throwing one last glance at Lily, who stood nearby, giving her a thumbs up. In that moment, Jamie grasped the truth. This wasn't just about impressing Jason, It was about proving to herself what she was capable of. With a swirl of determination, Jamie turned back to the chef. "What would you like to taste first?" But as he opened his mouth to speak, the moment was pierced by a sound that sent shockwaves through her. The cafe door slammed open again with sudden force, and an unexpected figure stepped inside, someone from her past, someone she never thought would show up here. In that split second, Jamie's heart froze. What would they say? How would this impact the meeting? Was this the moment that would change everything? Or would it send all her plans crashing down? Jamie stood frozen for a moment, the exhilaration of the morning and the weight of her dreams colliding with a tumultuous wave of surprise. The cafe buzzed with the comforting hum of familiar customers and the smell of breakfast, yet all she could hear was her heart pounding as she turned to face the intruder. "Ben?" she gasped, disbelief flooding her senses as he stepped forward, an anxious frown etched across his face. His presence was a swirl of anxiety and support, and she couldn't help but feel her nerves heighten. This wasn't how she had pictured this moment, a pivotal turning point overshadowed by the unexpected arrival of someone from her past. The world around her dimmed, the laughter and chatter fading as uncertainty tightened its grip. Jason, the chef, remained still, eyebrow raised in anticipation, and Jamie felt trapped between two parallel worlds. One was her future, glimmering with possibilities, and the other was a reminder of the past threatening to infiltrate her hard-won moment. "Jamie," Ben spoke softly, urgency coloring his tone. "I'm sorry to interrupt, but I had to come here. I didn't want to miss this chance to talk to you now, but I have a meeting," she stammered, eyes darting back to Jason, who leaned slightly, clearly intrigued by the unfolding scene. "Yes, I know, but what I have to say is important." "I didn't want you to go on thinking you're alone in this," Ben insisted, determination shimmering in his gaze. Her heart twisted, battling the urge to step back into familiarity while holding steadfast to the promise of her own dreams. The weight of Ben's words pressed into her, filled with memories of late-night talks and ambitious dreams they once shared. But Jamie wasn't that girl anymore. She had finally found her footing, and now she had to prove it to Jason and to herself. "Ben, I appreciate it," but she paused, frustration mingling with confusion. "I need to do this right now. The chef is waiting to see what I can do." "Exactly. And that's why I'm here. You've got this. Believe in yourself." "Just be the Jamie I know," Ben urged, the sincerity in his voice washing over her like a wave, but the pull of her dreams anchored deeper. With a quick breath, Jamie gathered her resolve, weighing the gravity of her decision. "I can't let this moment slip away, Ben. I want to embrace my future." She turned to Jason, her heart racing. "Sorry about this." Jason just nodded, his eyes flicking between her and Ben with a hint of amusement. "I get it. But I'm here to explore your capabilities, Jamie. Whatever this is, I'm all ears. Let us see what happens." Jamie felt a rush of gratitude mixed with fear. "Okay, let us do it." She turned her attention to the ingredients that filled the cafe kitchen. Stepping into her element where she had spent countless hours pouring her heart into baking felt like a rebirth. With each movement, Jamie felt her confidence swell. She whipped ingredients together, flour, sugar, eggs, a rhythm building within her. Ben watched her with a blend of encouragement and pride, a silent promise that this was her time. Jason leaned forward, interest piqued, as she plated a delicate dessert, a twist on a classic that showcased both creativity and her roots. The kitchen buzzed back to life, her hands moving confidently, inspired by a future she dared to envision. "All right then, show me what you've got," Jason said, folding his arms, an intrigued smile edging across his face. As she presented the dish, time felt suspended. The seconds swelled into minutes as his gaze shifted over her creation, carefully analyzing the flavors and the story behind it. And in that moment, something transformed within her. Fear melted away, replaced by a potent blend of hope and determination. "Impressive," Jason remarked, after tasting her creation. "You've got something unique here." This is where passion meets precision. The realization washed over Jamie like sunlight spilling into a shadowy room. This was the moment she had longed for. Yet, just when the full gravity of her success started to sink in, the door swung open again, and in walked Mrs. Fletcher. "Jamie, I heard the cafe was buzzing today." She rushed over, her eyes sparkling with excitement, but halted when she noticed Ben, surprise blooming across her face. The community she loved had come alive in unexpected ways, threading together the tapestry of support she had always needed. "I'm so proud of you, Jamie," Mrs. Fletcher said, her warmth wrapping around Jamie like a comforting embrace. "I knew you had it in you." Jamie felt the knot of anxiety unraveling, her heart swelling with love and support from both her sister and the community. This was how it was meant to be, courageous and genuine, with everyone standing together, pushing her toward her dream. "Thank you," Jamie replied, emotion flooding her voice. "I'm still figuring it all out, but I want to make my dreams happen with all the people who always stood by me." Lily appeared next, standing next to Mrs. Fletcher, pride shining bright. "You did it, Jamie. You showed everyone your potential. We all believe in you always." "Jamie, you're ready to embrace this," Ben said, stepping forward once more, the weight of his presence steady and reassuring. "Whatever path you choose from here, you're finally breaking through." Bathed in the warmth of support from her sister, her motherly mentor, and Ben, Jamie's heart fluttered, both terrified and exhilarated. She realized that it wasn't just about seizing opportunity, it was about opening herself up to the beauty of connection, to the love from those around her, to the realization that she didn't have to walk this path alone ever again. As she stood among the people who mattered most, Jamie felt invincible. Together, she whispered, determined to navigate the challenges ahead, engulfed in the love that would always lift her up. Together, they all echoed back, a powerful promise binding them through uncertainty. With the bustling cafe alive once more, Jamie took a step forward, eyes fixed on the future. The next chapter of her life felt like a blooming dawn, bursting with color, hope, and connection. The journey had only just begun, and with that, it was time for Jamie to step into that light, toward her heart's truest desires. As the festival of possibilities ignited beneath them, she knew one truth: she was home. Now, as you sit here, inspired by Jamie's journey, don't wait. You need to subscribe immediately to the channel so you can dive into the next exclusive story waiting for you. Leave a like now to fire up the algorithm and show your support for stories that uplift and inspire. We want to hear from you. Comment your thoughts and feelings about this powerful ending below. And don't forget to share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this incredible transformation. This is the moment to stand together in our journey. Don't wait not even one more second.